Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor.
Govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and
With you, brother.
by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed.
Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Brother, Brother, what are you doing here?
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Brother, save your this is your first... Brother, where were you during Mass? Don't tell me you didn't know that Holy Mass is the foundation on which your life here is built.
You're right, brother.
This is your second warning.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all you can tell me?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
I'm being punished. If it were up to me, I'd still be spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
I don't envy you. Unfortunately, you're here for the rest of your life.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Is it alright if we don't do the tour?
I thought that since you're literally a complete novice, you'd be interested to know what you have to do tomorrow. But if you don't want to come with me, I won't force you. Here's a letter from the prior with the daily schedule.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
Salve, be well.
I'd pull those idlers by the ears.
What have they done to you this time, brother?
If you aren't interested, I'm not going to force you.
Leaving
I'll
us,
leave you to your own devices.
chase around after them, finishing what they don't.
Do you have to finish someone's weeding in the garden again?
Yet again, I've had enough of it.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother, and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
It occurs to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask Brother Salarius. They say he used to be a thief.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see. Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, It's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
Someone really reeked at Matthew. Right. It stunk like the wine found in there.
Tell me something about life here.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
Who would you choose as the new abbot if you could?
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business. You'll sleep better at night.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
I'm interested in the other novices. Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
The things you say. My joints started aching just before they raised scalets, and now...
Can you tell me something about yourself?
Worse than last time.
I would if there was anything
I tell you,
noteworthy to say.
Something is going to happen.
But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
Who would you vote for as the new abbot if you could?
Why do you care? We don't have the right to vote, so we shouldn't get mixed up in it.
I'm just interested, that's all.
I like John better. But like I've said, it's not our place to get involved. It's enough that Antonius is mixed up in it. Don't you start too.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Well, that's all. Thank you for your time, brother. I'm Gregor, a novice. I saw you at the ceremony.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
Do you know anything about Yodok?
I don't. He doesn't like me, and he's on very friendly terms with the Circators. That's about it.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him. I've never asked about him.
You really don't know anything about anyone? Well, thanks anyway.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all you can tell me?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath. Never forget that.
Prays long into the night.
These novices. I'd pull those idlers by the ears.
What have they done to you this time, brother?
They're shirking their responsibilities, leaving us, their superiors, to chase around...
If you could, who would you vote for to be the abbot?
But I can't vote, so what's the point of worry? Ask Antonius. He often talks about it, and I'm sure he has an opinion.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Well, that's all. Thank you for your time, brother. My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although, it's not important. Welcome to Purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
They must have realized you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my brothers, my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself, especially the part about the coin.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove of yours.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like. And I keep it under the slab so the others don't find it.
I'll leave you be. Don't worry, I won't follow you again.
Thank you. And please, Gregor, don't mention it to anyone.
How is it that you don't get any penance for missing morning prayers?
I've paid off the Circators to turn a blind eye. And the other monks don't notice as long as you show your face there from time to time. No one's too awake at that time of the morning. That must have been Brother Circator. He can't sleep and pray.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices. Tell me about Antonius.
Oh, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
I'm interested in Yodok.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't here, he'd be a cumin scout, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him. I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
That's all. Thanks. Who would you elect, Abbot, if you could?
Most likely Nevlas. He's a fine fellow and he seems honest. But, truth be told, it doesn't matter much to me. A monastery will still be a monastery, no matter who's in charge. If you really want to talk more about it, ask Antonius. He seems to have taken an interest.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Well, that's all. Thank you for your time, brother.
Someone really reeked it.
Ah, Gregor. Talk to me.
It's a mystery, but one that'll be
I'd like
soon
to ask
solved.
you something about the
No
monastery.
wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's breath in the morning. Then he'd soon get his man.
What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yodok is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Perhaps too eager. Siskind is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hardworking and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse, and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Who would you like to be the new abbot?
Definitely Nevlas. Although he's young and less experienced, his heart and intentions are pure.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. Then there's the prior and the sub-prior, the librarian, the porter, and many others. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the Circators. They're the ones who maintain discipline and punish bad behavior.
Can you tell me something about the rule of St. Benedict?
7 centuries ago, Saint Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection of monastic rules, which we still follow today. They're read at every meal. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to serving God. The outside world, beyond the monastery walls, is foreign to us.
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue, and the grass is just as green. Perhaps the rulers change, but the greatest ruler of them all will remain unchanged through the ages.
Tell me something about life here.
Prayer, work, obedience. That just about sums it up.
Are there ever any disagreements between the brothers?
Unfortunately, yes. The biggest quarrels right now are about the election of the new abbot. They can already see poor Peter in his grave.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
The old abbot is practically on his deathbed. There are 2 candidates. Half the monastery wants John, the other half Nevlas. But there's no chance they'll come to an agreement. But you've probably already noticed the atmosphere around here.
Tell me about John.
John is a surcator and the oldest brother here. It would be only natural if he took the crosier from Peter. He has experience, merit, and composure. He'd lead the monastery wisely.
I'd like to know about Nevlas.
Nevlas manages the monastery's property. He doesn't have the most experience, but his drive and heart are pure, his faith firm, and his ideas rational. Although perhaps he's too keen to change our routines here, which many brothers don't like.
Why does it matter so much who wins?
Because the future direction of the monastery hangs in the balance. The younger brothers feel they have to work more than their superior brothers, and that some brothers are more concerned with their own comfort than with worshipping God. The older brothers take a different view. They say the younger monks want privileges they haven't earned, and each side has its own candidate.
I thought politics weren't part of the monastic way of life.
You're right, but we know nothing besides the monastery, and the abbot's decisions can influence our entire life. Some of the brothers take it very personally.
Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You have everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight, so no one can get in or out.
That touching, is it?
Touching? More like infuriating. A horrible, abominable waste of parchment. Young people have no respect for writing these days.
But they'll learn. We were no different.
Salve.
Be well.
Someone's been creeping around the corridor at night. What am I saying, creeping? He was stomping about like a bear.
This looks like the dregs after a night's drinking. Who could be coming here?
Someone really reeked.
Are you sure that belongs
You're
here?
right. It stunk like a wine barrel.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
It's a mystery.
I know.
One that-
I saw you at the ceremony.
It's a
My name is
wonder why
Neblis,
it
and I'm the
doesn't check
provost
everyone's
here.
breath in the morning.
I'm in charge of the
Then you
monastery's
soon get its
property,
man.
as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery.
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure the monks live a humble life and that any surpluses go to the poor. But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yodok is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager, perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hard-working and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse, and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Is there anything I could help with?
And where did you
You
get
know,
it?
there is. Perhaps you've heard that Abbot Peter is gravely ill. I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
Are you sure that belongs here?
You can count on my help. What do you need me to do?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now you know most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the Libri Prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to read.
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult and demonic practices, witchcraft and all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally
you're
acknowledged to
carrying
be a
around?
wise man.
Why?
But here, at some point, someone decided his book was the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it.
What's that you're carrying
The
around?
forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it, which is exactly what we don't want.
Is there anything you can tell me that would help?
There's a key to the cabinet in the prior's chambers. The librarian should have another one, or you can acquire some lockpicks. But I can't tell you where or how. Perhaps Brother Salarius could help.
Why can't you do it yourself?
Because I'm one of the highest-ranking monks here, and one day I'd like to become abbot. Can you imagine me crawling around in the black of night searching for a forbidden book?
You could just ask for it.
Do you honestly think I haven't tried? Unfortunately, Librarian Cyril is a stubborn ass.
I'm ready.
One more important thing.
What is that?
There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go at night. It's locked, but I'm sure you'll manage to get in. They say Brother Salarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have the book, bring it to me, and I'll then use it to make Peter's medicine. We'll soon have the election of the abbot over and done with.
Is there any way I could help you get elected? Somehow tip the scales in your favour?
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for Nevillus, vote for Nevillus"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the monastery. I'd be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. But if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises are just empty slogans.
Very good then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother. What's that you're carrying around? And why? What's that you're carrying around? And why?
I'm telling you, someone's been creeping around in the corridor at night.
What's that you're
Are you
carrying
sure
around?
that belongs
and
here?
why?
Stomping about like a bear. That must have been Brother Sir.
What is that? Where did you get it?
What is that? And where did you get it?
What's that you're carrying around?
Creeping around in the corridor at night. What am I saying? Creeping. He was stomping about like a bear. Someone's been
What's that you're carrying around, and why?
What's that you're carrying around?
around?
And why?
And why?
Are you sure that belongs here?
I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during the ceremony. I have a feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm a Sacato.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything is the way it should be.
When it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
What is that? And where? Are you sure that belongs here?
I'd like to ask you something about the
Are
monastery.
you sure that belongs here?
Are you sure that belongs here?
Someone's been creeping around in the corridor.
Are you sure? Talk to me, brother.
Is it possible to learn something about the other novices in the library?
Only the abbot and the prior keep such records.
And can I see them?
No. The abbot writes and keeps his records in his chambers, and only he and the prior are permitted to read them.
And now they hurt again, but worse than last time. I tell you, something is going to happen.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. I've heard there are some forbidden books locked up in the library.
That's correct. They're here, safely hidden away from anyone who might be tempted to read them.
Could a book be prohibited by mistake? Maybe a good book or a useful one?
No errors are made. Every book on the prohibited list is there for a reason. Who am I to doubt the wisdom of Mother Church?
How does a book get on the forbidden list?
Forbidden works are full of heresy and blasphemy and witchcraft. If you ask me, we should burn them immediately, not archive them.
What if I just wanted to take a peek? Could I?
You could not. They are libri prohibiti, and the only people permitted access to them are the abbot and I. Although I see no reason why he or I would ever want to read them.
Not even if I were to beg? Or promise a favour in return?
If you could prove to me that you truly like books, then maybe.
I don't need to hear anything else. I've heard about Avicenna's Book of Medicine. Could I see it?
Who told you about that? Of course you can't.
Abbot Peter's help.
There's no hurry.
What's that you're carrying around? And why?
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
What's that you're carrying around? Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. But I've no time for idle chat. I transcribe books from dawn till dusk. I've been doing it for years, and I'll be doing it till the day I die.
What, you do nothing else?
It is my penance and my blessing. And now, brother, if you don't mind, I'd like to get this page finished. What's the meaning of this?
Now they hurt again, but worse than last time.
drunk. And besides, God will be our protector.
Ah. Leave me be. I want to sleep.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Just for fun? Pull the other one, brother. It's got bells on. Anyway, you're barking up the wrong tree. I can't help you.
Lord in heaven, what have you done now?
Praised be to our Lord Jesus.
Not now, brother. After Mass.
Can't you see we are at Mass?
commandments and words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of heart. Abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better. And let him not the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the priest of silence, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not corrected with words." And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death. The rule of Saint shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, even the... For it is written, "In much speaking you will not escape sin." And in another place, "Death and life
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Concoct 2 buck's blood potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
Peace be with you, brother.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices. Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Maria gratia plena Dominus tecum. What is it, brother?
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
I read one of the manuscripts copied by one of the novices. I think I'm going to cry.
It's that touching, is it?
Who would you like to be the new abbot?
The old abbot isn't dead yet. It's too early to talk about elections. But if I had to choose between the two who are already putting themselves forward, John would be my choice.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
I'd like to practice opening locks, just for the fun of it.
Just for fun. Pull the other one, brother. It's got bells on. Anyway, you're barking up the wrong tree. I can't help you.
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately. It will never happen again.
Brother? Save your excuses for someone else. This is your first warning. Don't do it again.
What is it, brother?
God be with you.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'm here to work.
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning Latin. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? Then you may begin, and try not to make a mess of it. You call that a copy? You've completely ruined the parchment with your scribbling.
What would you like?
Is there anything I can do to help here?
I'm glad you asked. There's one thing, a silly thing really. I haven't thought to mention it to anyone before, but not long ago, a brother brought me a crumpled piece of parchment. He says he found it rolled up in a hole in the wall. The thing is, it was a page from Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who. Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured Ovid will return to his rightful place in the library.
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be most grateful.
God be with you.
Where should I look?
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you to do it. The pages of the book could be hidden anywhere, from the garden to the refectory.
Can you tell me something about the book?
The Art of Love is a sort of manual instructing young people how to find and maintain love. It's a lovely work. I don't understand what bothered Eustace so much about it, but as I was saying, he considered the book to be immoral and tore it up to stop it corrupting any of his brothers. Get away from that. Get away from that cabinet. The books stored in there aren't for your eyes to see.
Sir.
From Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from prime in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary until about the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot.
Things will get worse. I can feel it in my joints. Things you say. My joints started aching.
Talk to me, brother.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
Oh, nothing really, come to think of it.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who would you like to be the new abbot?
Brother John, obviously. No one's interested in Nevlas and his new ideas.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
What's it to you? Do you have some or not?
Peace, brother. There's no need to get all worked up. So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat, and you can have your lockpicks. Can't say fairer than that, can I?
Salve. Be well.
Peace be with you.
Go away. Novices aren't allowed here.
Abbot Peter's health is deteriorating.
God be.
What is it, brother?
I'm looking for some...
And what?
I'm looking for...
Luck?
What's it to you? Do you have some or not?
Peace, brother. There's no need. So you heard I used to be... I'll trade them for food.
Can we do something about the price?
Alright, so? No deal, then.
Go away. Novices aren't allowed here.
Brother, this isn't a place for you.
No Novices have no business here.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for
What? Peace? So you heard? I'll trade them for food. Get me a bite to eat.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can
What
try.
do you want, brother? You shouldn't be here.
Forget it then.
Praise be to our Lord. I can't sleep and praise long into the night.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lock.
Lock?
What's it to you?
Peace, bro. So you heard I'll trade.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you.
You're a right pinch purse. Tough luck.
What do you want? Be here.
Brother? You were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know where you're permitted to enter and where your presence is forbidden?
Very well, brother. I accept my punishment.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that is not allowed in the monastery. Oh, I know the taste of it.
Peace be with you, brother.
What would you like?
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be?
I'm looking for
lock picks.
What's it to you?
Peace? So yeah, I'll trade them for...
I'd like to discuss the price.
Alright, so? I'm finished. This is going nowhere.
What's that you're carrying? Are you sure that belongs? What's that you're carrying around, and why?
Are you sure that belongs here?
Lord in heaven, what have you done now?
What is that? And where did you get it? What's that you're carrying around?
Are you sure that belongs here?
Peace be with you, brother.
Peace be with you, brother.
Go away. Novices aren't allowed here.
Aha, Gregor. Talk to me.
I'm looking for something a little, unorthodox.
And what would that be exactly?
I'm looking for lockpicks.
Lockpicks? And what would you like those for?
What's it to you? Do you have some or not?
Peace, brother. There's no need to get all worked up. So you heard I used to be a burglar, did you? I put it all behind me as soon as I took the vows. But I do have a few lockpicks left. I'll trade them for food. Get me a...
Halt! Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Brother, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. This is your first warning. Don't do it again.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him at all, except that he's not a stickler for rules.
Are you joking? Don't you know anyone at all here?
Why should I?
I'd have thought you might want to know who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. I definitely do. In fact, I probably already know more about them than you do.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to whom more is committed. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not or in obedience, and let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today's task, 2 cockerel potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. So, what is it, brother?
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices. Sancta Dei Genit.
Stop, Gregor!
Praise be to our Lord
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I was feeling a bit queasy.
Brother? I'm sorry. but I don't believe you. This is your first warning. Don't do it again.
Stop, Gregor!
Brother? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hand.
I definitely
Brother, I wasn't. This is your first.
Stop, Gregor!
What's inside? Forbidden books. Written.
What's the meaning of this? Have you been possessed by an evil spirit? Deum Patrem omnipotentum creatorem caeli et terrae. Praise be to Christ, brother.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you.
Oh no, such a waste of parchment. How could you?
Are you interested in what's inside? Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about them. Don't even look at that cabinet. Books.
So much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open.
My Agnes has been gone now for 4.5 years. I still think I heard yesterday she went to the
What troubles you?
I'd like to ask about something.
Can't you see I'm working? Ask someone else.
Oh, you're interested in what's inside?
Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about them.
It's a mystery, but one that will soon be solved. It's a wonder the prior doesn't check everyone's
What
breath in the morning.
What is that? What's that you're carrying around?
What is that?
Are you sure
And
that
where did you
belongs-
get
What's
it?
that you're carrying around, and why?
Talk to me, brother.
There's something I should tell you. Something secret. I'm looking for someone here in the monastery.
You're looking for someone? But you're a novice, aren't you?
I am a novice. At least until I find the man I'm looking for.
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man aren't valid here. In the cloister, we're subject to divine law, the law of the church.
I'm looking for a footpad who's hiding out here in the monastery. He had a hand in raising the Neuhoff farm. He's taken many lives.
I heard something about that. But why are you telling me all this?
Because you could help me. It has to be one of the other novices.
That can't be. Have you told the prior? What are you going to do to this man once you find him?
Talk to him. Then I'll see. Do you have any idea which of the novices could be the imposter I'm looking for?
I don't know, and I don't care to know. I wish you'd never told me. Now I won't be able to sleep at night. What's that you're carrying around? And why?
What troubles you?
There's something I should tell you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone, and...
What's that you're carrying around?
Well, to do away with
Why?
him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhoff. He doesn't deserve to live.
What's he doing here? And who are you?
They call him Pius because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escaped suspicion. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected.
And why?
Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it. It could be Antonius?
Antonius? He's a fine fellow. No, it can't be him. Although, you never know what's hiding beneath a man's skin.
See how hard it is? It could be anyone, and at the same time, nobody in particular. I won't tell you more, and I'd like you to keep silent about this too.
You're talking about killing in the monastery. I really should report it.
Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours. And besides, I mean to be gone from here within a year, so why should I care what happens with the monastery?
Thank you, Siskin. I appreciate it.
What's that you're carrying around?
And it's not the first time.
Why?
It's a mystery, but one that'll soon be solved. It's a wonder.
What is that? And where...
Talk to me, brother. What troubles you?
I need to make a confession.
I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done. It's probably nothing to worry about.
Are you sure?
I'm
that
here in the
belongs
monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand in burning down the Neuhof stud.
You don't say. And who are you to take such an interest?
Someone whose job it is to investigate the case, find the perpetrators and make sure they get the punishment they deserve.
Punishment? Do you intend to punish them here, in the monastery?
I don't know yet. I'm still just on their trail. Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident. All the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still, I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lukas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
I don't think it was him. But please, don't tell a soul what we've been talking about.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secrets are locked inside my lips.
I know you're Pius, the man I've been looking for.
So you're finally sure? Tell me, Gregor, or Karl, or whatever your true name is. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I should do.
Well, at least you're prepared to think and not just play bloodhound for a pack of nobodies. And I'm glad you have your doubts.
I don't want to be like the people I'm looking for. If I have to kill, it should be for a reason, not because I enjoy it.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us, but we don't have to let them use us. We can just forget all about it and go our own way. I was a bandit, and I was at Neuhof. I've robbed and stolen, but I swear to God I've never in my life slain innocent people. What I saw at Neuhof made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery I've had plenty of time to think things over, but then you showed up and fucked it all up.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. And what exactly are you proposing?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace, and no one will try to kill me. If we work together, we can both get what we want.
Are you sure that belongs here?
You're right. But the people who sent me will find out if I don't kill you.
They won't if we're clever about it. No one has to die. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit, and footprints leading towards the river.
What is that?
No one will bother looking for my body there. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty, and I'll get as far away from here as I can.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery, and some blood to make the tracks.
What do I need the keys to the monastery for?
How else will we get out? This place is practically a prison.
Getting the keys won't be easy.
I know, but Brother Solarius is a reformed thief. I'll bet he still has a few lockpicks lying about. If you know how to use them, they'll be worth finding. Or there's the hard way. Steal the keys from the Prior. He carries them with him at all times.
They both sound hard to me. But needs must. What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow. That sort of thing. You can escape in that habit, but I need to vanish as fast as I can.
And where am I supposed to get my hands on blood in a monastery?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when it's delivered the next day, take it before anyone notices it's even come.
Alright, that's everything I need to know. I can get started.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have everything. And try to be as fast as you can. And Gregor, thank you.
What is that? Where did you get it?
What's that you're carrying around?
What's that you're
Are you
carrying?
sure that belongs here?
What's that you're carrying around?
Where did you get it? And why?
Don't move a muscle.
Novices have no business here.
Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
I had other affairs that needed to be attended to immediately. It will never happen again.
Brother, I'm sorry, but this is your first warning. You were somewhere you shouldn't have been.
I've had enough of this. You'll never put me in seclusion.
You dare resist punishment?
Yes, brother. I'm resisting punishment. I've had it up to my neck with you, your monastery, and your bullshit. Do your damnedest.
You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You are hereby banished from the Order of Saint Benedict. Be gone at once.
I have everything we need for the escape.
Excellent. Straight after Vespers, we'll meet in the dormitory. We'll have to get it all done before the monks have finished dinner.
What exactly is your plan? And why can't we do it at night?
We're going to prepare a little riddle they'll never solve. And why at mealtime? Because we need the dormitory as well as the church to be empty. Then at night we'll escape. Do you follow? Take everything with you and don't forget the keys.
Good. Once evening mass ends, I'll be in the dormitory.
Brother, where were you during Mass? Don't tell me you didn't know that Holy Mass is the foundation on which your life here is built.
You're right, brother.
This is your first warning. Don't do it again. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
You're right, brother.
This is your second warning. Do it again and you will be punished. You were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know where you're permitted to enter and where your presence is forbidden?
I've had enough of this.
You dare resist?
Yes, brother.
You failed. What's that you're carrying around, and why?
You sure that?
Satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humbled and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from this, the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since this spirit of silence, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin.
What would you like?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. Peace be with you, brother. What would you like?
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices.
What would you like? I have everything we need for the escape.
Excellent. Straight after Vespers, we'll meet in the dormitory. We'll have to get it all done before the monks have finished dinner.
What exactly is your plan? And why can't we do it at night?
We're going to prepare a little riddle they'll never solve. And why at mealtime? Because we need the dormitory as well as the church to be empty. Then at night we'll escape. Do you follow? Take everything with you, and don't forget the keys.
Good. Once evening mass ends, I'll be in the dormitory.
Salve. Be well.
Talk to me, brother.
What would you like?
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you.
Oh, this is quite inexcusable, boy. Can you even read?
Praise be to God. For a moment there I was worried you weren't coming. Give me that blood. This is the exact spot where you pushed me off the gallery. And here's where you dragged my lifeless body. Thank you for helping me out. Now we must each go our own way.
Well, I can't just let you leave. You're a criminal.
What are you on about? Did you really help me escape just to betray me?
I'm truly sorry, but you were there at the Neuhoff massacre, and you're a valuable witness. I'm taking you to the bailiff.
Gregor, you can't be serious. I thought I won't be taken anywhere. I'd rather die than lose my freedom.
This is one of the men who raised Neuhoff. He should be able to tell you something useful. But I need to ask a favour. I need you to keep him out of sight so his accomplices don't know he's been caught.
Fine work, and I'll do as you say. I'll find a deep, dark hiding place where no one will hear me interrogate him. And while we're at it, I'll have your things brought here. Wait here a while.
Aren't you meant to be in the monastery, lad?
What are you doing here? You're playing truant from the monastery, aren't you?
Yeah!
Quiet. that?
By all that's holy! Watch out! There's a thief here! Guard! Come here quick! There's a thief over there!
You there! Stop! Surrender!
Henry!
What's wrong with Matthias?
As I said, his wound isn't healing, and he has a constant fever.
Me and Brother Nicodemus are at a loss.
We tried everything we could think of. I pray every night to Our Lady to heal him. If only he'd get better.
Ah, poor Matthias. After all he's been through. I'll pray for him too.
Bye.
I feel quite hungry.
Are you looking for something?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Good luck to you.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it.
Very well, I agree.
watch over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you. Hello.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it. Aye, for that amount I can be persuaded.
Good fella. That's my boy.